The fourth stage of this global marathon is a straight 4,300-mile sprint across the treacherous Southern Ocean to Fremantle and the pristine shores of Western Australia. And with only 3 races gone and 10 points available for a win, there's plenty to play for. On the dockside, final goodbyes, last stolen moments before the challenge begins again. As the boats leave the marina, the comforts of land fade away once more.
3, 2. Come on, get the Yankee around quick as you can.
In light winds, race 4 begins. 10 identical racing yachts, each with their own unique crew. A professional skipper is in charge, but under his guidance, a team of ordinary people, everyday folk from all walks of life. For them, this is the challenge of a lifetime, and it's about to get serious. Only 24 hours in, and already the treacherous Southern Ocean is baring its teeth. On board Western Australia 2011.com, skipper Martin Silk is enjoying himself. Strong winds are good for racing.
And we've got Southern Ocean conditions, really. It's quite nice though, the wind's shifting around to the south now, so 7 to 8 at the moment. But we've got the swell behind us, so boat speed's fast.
For the crew, battling through the storm on deck, it's a taste of things to come.
A bit of a warm-up, I think, yeah. Especially up on the foredeck there, changing sails. Yeah, they're raring to go. They love it.
With a few thousand miles still to go, storm conditions are something the crew will get used to in the coming weeks. On board New York, the rough weather is causing problems. With the boat at a constant angle, keeping a safe grip is increasingly tricky. The challenge is already claiming victims.
Really, I'm just sat just outside of the cockpit. Just this enormous wave hit the boat, hit me, and I was sent flying.
Tony needs medical attention fast. Skipper Duggie Gillespie has no choice but to turn back to Durban.
We just made contact, about 5 minutes ago, made contact with a South African naval vessel, very kindly coming out to pick up our casualty.
As Tony prepares for the medical evacuation, he's not the only member of the team to be leaving the Southern Ocean behind.
I haven't been feeling too well. I've had leukemia before, and I'm really not well at the moment. I really think you might be so serious now, so I'll have to get off and get checked. I just got to go. I've got to get better.
It's a serious worry. Dan and Tony must get treatment as soon as possible. Under cover of darkness, they step off the yacht and leave the race behind. On Glasgow, Scotland with style clipper, the saloon is like a changing room. Up on deck, the battle rages against the storm. At night, the challenge increases, and so does the risk. And in the mayhem, the unthinkable is suddenly a frightening reality.
As I approached the mast, I could see, to my horror, a pair of legs dangling over the side of the deck. And I shouted to Gordon what's happening. David's in the water, David's in the water. I immediately shouted back, man overboard.
From a skipper's point of view, that's about the most horrendous thing you can ever hear. It was reasonably light that night, but I mean, Gordon was right there, and he slipped out and disappeared into the darkness immediately.
He said, I'm slipping, I'm going to let go. And he let go.
A very strange thing happened. It's all went very quiet. Just slipping down past the boat. It was just pure silence after all the mayhem, the shouting, and people running about deck.
So turned the boat round and started slowly motoring. The thoughts going through my mind at the time were that we were searching for a dead man.
The waves seemed to get bigger, and I felt I was going under the water more than I was staying on top. So I thought the next option was to take my big jacket off. So I struggled to get that off. And it made a big difference. I felt a lot lighter in the water.
One of the crew had gotten up on deck with a searchlight, so they were training that on the water. There must have been, I don't know how many crew on deck at that stage, half a dozen or more, I can't remember exactly who.
Somebody heard a call, and the crew were then sort of quiet. We heard the call again, and the searchlight was scanned. Somebody said about 2 o'clock, and we spotted the tiniest little bit of reflective tape
I got close to the boat, that's when I realised like, how tired I was and how close I was to not making it. That's how long it went on for. I couldn't honestly say. It seemed like a lifetime.
Thanks to the skill and courage of the skipper and crew, disaster is miraculously averted. Further ahead in the fleet, Aussie Rules football player James Walker is getting to grips with life on board a 68-foot racing yacht. Routine checks are vital to keep the boat racing at top speed, both at sea level and up the mast. John Kimber is doing his weekly rig check, and it's a chance for James to try his head for heights. But climbing a mast at sea is not as easy as it looks.
It's a bit hair-raising coming up. It's an amazing view when you get up here though, and yeah, pretty exhilarating really. So as we got higher and higher, it was sort of, you're aware that you're sort of perched on the top of the world out here.
With the rig check complete, James is lowered mercifully back down to the deck.
Glad to be on solid boat. Not dangling 50 feet in the air like an idiot.
Okay, Bruce.
But it's amazing how much the boat pitches and moves when you're up top. It's surprisingly difficult to hold
JB.
on. My hands and forearms are really
You're going back up
fatigued.
to the top.
For the crews of the Clipper race, it's just another day at the office. On board Jamaica, it's steady progress towards the finish line in Western Australia. But what do you do if you run out of supplies before you get to your destination?
One of our crew members has been unwell. They're very badly dehydrated, and we've already used up our complete stock of IV fluids. So we're getting some more from the Singapore Clipper.
Having received the call for assistance, Uniquely Singapore diverts towards Jamaica, supplies ready to go on deck.
Yeah, they're about 3 miles away. We can hear them on the radio, and just going to go alongside under sail and transfer the supplies.
But we won't put our engine on until you're pretty close.
Yeah, roger that. Okay, mate, nice one.
Yeah, okay, Mark, much appreciated for the thought. See you in a minute.
Finding each other in an expansive ocean is only the first step. Getting the supplies safely across is an entirely different matter. Both boats must hold exactly the same course and maintain exactly the same speed. In rolling ocean swell, this is harder than it looks. The transfer is successful. Up at the head of the fleet, Durban 2010 and beyond is charging towards the finish line. But only miles behind them, Western Australia 2011.com can smell home soil and a chance of snatching victory.
76 miles ahead of us, but we have made 14 mile gain in the last 6 hours. What we're banking on now is that the wind is actually going to shift around as forecast. For Durban, that means that they'll have to put in a tack. So potentially, if that had put in a tack for 20 miles, we could catch them.
Having crossed the legendary Southern Ocean, Durban 2010 and beyond and Western Australia 2011.com arrive safely into the port of Fremantle. It's a narrow victory for the South African team, but a well-earned second race win.
It was nerve-wracking. I hate leading. I absolutely hate leading a race. For the last couple of days, we've had WA just hunting us down, as well as the rest of the pack.
And only a few hours later, the home boat arrives to a hero's welcome. It's a proud moment for skipper Martin Silk.
The reception's just astounding, and just looking around the crew and family, everyone meeting their folks again, it's just such a good sight to see, such a good feeling.